Hey everyone, this is the Marketing Perspective Show, and today I'm with Scott, and I'm really excited to have him on. And he's going to talk about a little bit about what he does, and then we'll start getting into some Amazon stuff about coupons, video ads, and just the latest stuff going on with Amazon, really what it does. So yeah, Scott, tell us about yourself.
Hey, thanks, Victor, for having me. And yeah, like you said, plenty of things to go over. I've been an Amazon seller for 8 years. Actually, my wholesale business has done over 200 million. Lifetime sales, actually, probably over three at this point. Um, I'm noticing something in our live stream right now. You look tall, I look short. So I'm gonna upgrade. There we go. I'm going to upgrade to being taller. So now we're on the same playing field. Um, I bought a private label business a year and a half ago. Tried to sell it, to flip it, but the yesterday our offer was pulled. So I guess I'm back to being a private label seller. And then also the thing is while yes, I'm an Amazon seller, the entire time I've always been like programming and like automating things for our businesses. As we have, roughly 100 employees, most of them in distribution.
Yeah.
And so I've just always been a programmer since the beginning. So a lot of experience with, trying to find the data points that matter and the data points that don't. And then realizing years later that like, that's just not as relevant or not worth the hassle. And if there's one thing that I learned the hard way is trying not to build everything.
Yeah.
There's so many tools out there right now. If you can rent it and trust me, like it's probably the better decision. I probably spent $10,000 to $15,000 either in mine and a developer's labor to build their own emailer,
Yeah.
to like request a review. And guess how much that costs? Like
Yeah.
$10, $20 a month. you can get that. So that's some of the hard learned lessons that I've had as an Amazon seller.
Because there's pros and cons of being that developer. Like you really enjoy developing new things. You love creating them, but then you have to realize like your time can be efficiently spent elsewhere, and
Yeah,
you don't have to always create every single like little thing. That there's tools to help automate things. There's tools that really help guide that process,
yeah,
and you really don't have to own that entire process. You could just use other tools and kind of accomplish the same task,
yeah,
really. So it's important to know.
yeah,
Yeah. And like it's important not to know that you don't have to do everything. Like you don't have to be the person that does everything and does that entire process. Like you can delegate those tasks to other people and tools and things like that. You don't have to be the do all person.
yeah. So actually, I'm gonna turn it on to you. Um, Give me what's your experience on Amazon? So if you ask me questions, I know like how to answer them best.
Yeah, like basically, I am an Amazon agency, Amazon provider that basically helps guide external traffic to Amazon. And like that can be through TikTok, that can be through Facebook, that can be through Instagram. And that's basically how we guide traffic to Amazon to increase either rankings,
I
sales, and things like that.
I can honestly say I've never met an agency that says that that's what they do. That's a niche. That's really cool. And
Yeah, and it's because most people are doing like Amazon advertising,
yeah,
Amazon everything. But as you know, during Q4, Amazon ads just went through the roofs. Cost
yeah,
per clicks just went crazy, crazy high. And Amazon advertising is really
yeah,
expensive now. So basically, what we do is we leverage Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all these different all these other channels that are a lot cheaper than Amazon ads, and we're able to guide that traffic to Amazon in order to rank them higher. So like that way you can rank them organically rather than doing it through sponsored. So yeah, it's
love
cool.
it. Shoot, we could flip tables and I could ask you questions this whole time. Yeah,
But yeah, it's neat, especially with Google. Google's the new hot topic right now on Amazon, guiding Google traffic because Google. Amazon actually prioritizes Google search traffic more than their own search engine right now. So if you typed in the word keyword bed sheet on
That
Amazon and someone
that
bought,
that's
your keyword rank would only lift a little bit. But if you did that same exact search on Google and bought it through the same method, then they would rank you on Amazon by
yeah.
almost 3 times more. So
Yeah.
it's fascinating. It makes no sense, but that's how it
That's
works.
yeah, that's really what I'm hearing, and that's some of our experience as well.
Mhm.
Well, let's see.
L-
So
like I also wanted to go to like the coupons and things like that.
yeah,
Like what's your experience on like couponing
um,
and things like that?
lots of experience with coupons.
Mhm.
It is kind of weird how the power that they wield
Mhm.
on Amazon. Um, and there's hopefully if you get it right, like you should just be doing coupons almost like all the time. Um,
Really?
so what they are is like, yeah, there's like promotions, those like you can do like discounts and whatnot,
Mhm.
and maybe even create a coupon code. But what the Amazon coupon is its own standalone thing to just like give a discount. And there's a few reasons why it's just great. One, it gives you a badge. You know, you get like a little badge that's on mobile. And like trust me, like badges are hard to come across. You
Yeah.
know, everyone knows how great the bestseller and the Amazon's Choice badge are, but like you can get one, a green one that when you're talking about like an inch of real estate on mobile, um, like the coupon will increase your click through rate. Just
Yeah.
no question. It works really well. And then there's like a secret thing about coupons is only half of the people that uh, jump on that buy your product actually check that box to apply the coupon.
Hmm.
Um, it's the way that it's worked for years, and it makes running a coupon less expensive. And so people even think that they're getting the coupon discount, but like they're not. Whether that creates a disconnect, I don't know. This is the Amazon system. I'm not going to complain if shoppers are too dumb to take the discount that they should. So then I was told that there's a control that you can't just like raise your price and have a coupon, but that is not the case. There's no control for that. You can raise your price, $5 and put on a $5 coupon. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
Not saying that like you should always do that, but
True.
like knowing that that's a possibility. Uh, I bet you it would be very interesting. Like coupons actually lend themselves to uh, st- uh, A/B testing. Just like testing. Like, okay, 1 week I want to be 19.99. Next week I want to be 24.99 with a $5 coupon. Right there, you just have a really good sample size of and see if it changes your conversion percentage.
Mhm.
There's another psychological benefit to a coupon, which I do believe leads to a conversion lift
Mhm.
is the psychological effect of like you feel like you're getting a deal. You're like, oh, I got to buy this now because like I don't know how long this is gonna be a coupon. When you tell your friends when you get a deal. If you're shopping at anywhere you're at, you're like you want to be able to like feel like you bought at a good time.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yep.
you know, on both on Amazon and in the real world, like retailers know how to engineer around what we like.
Yeah.
And this like, getting a deal, it's the same as like getting free shipping.
Yeah.
People have seen if you've seen that meme where it's like where they say like, oh, paying, $10 for a product and like $4 for shipping, I don't want to do it. But
Mhm.
$20 and free shipping, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
coupons have a little bit of that effect
Yeah.
where you're you feel like you're buying at a good time.
Yeah.
So uh,
So when it comes to all the promotions, just in general on Amazon, you would recommend not doing the promotion, what goes on the Amazon site directly. You would recommend out of all those different like Prime exclusive discounts, all these other different type of discount. There's like a million different type of
yeah,
discounts on Amazon. So you recommend coupons as the primary one
I
that
just
drives the most.
it's just the easiest.
Mhm.
there's really not a ton of downside considering that you can price around it.
Yeah.
Um, and then it even has the added benefit of like not everyone is smart enough to check that box, even though they like I buy plenty on Amazon, and like there's sometimes I saw like a 5% discount and I've missed clicking on it,
Yeah.
and um, it actually gets awkward. You have to like remove the product from the cart, then search it again to apply the coupon. Like I know sometimes I've not gotten it. So it's just a low hanging fruit
Yeah.
that before you consider the other promotions, this is the first one you should look at.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, it's the easiest to test around. Just love it.
I would be worried about raising your price though. Like, because
Okay.
when you start raising your price, people will start doing price comparisons and they won't do the math in order
Yeah.
to compare it. So like let's say if you're both see I only work in terms of like first row rank. I just look at like, okay, what are my first row competitors? What are they priced at? And let's say if everyone's at 19.99, for example, and all of a sudden you raise your price $4, so you're 24.99, and they might see a $5 off coupon, but the customer might not do the math in their
Yeah.
head and say like, okay, no, this is still more expensive even with this coupon. And so you want to be careful about raising your price and putting on a coupon. I think you like
Yeah.
it's still open to it, but just definitely don't like raise it so much to where your competitors look
Yeah.
like a better option.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually seen some people like have like they've raised it like $30 and done like a $30 coupon.
Yeah.
I don't think that's quite going to work the way you think it is. But um, so yeah, obviously be careful about that. We run coupons if we're all of a sudden like it's kind of like a default. If we're deep on inventory, we just do a coupon. Don't think twice.
Yeah.
Like let's burn through some more inventory. Help out our cash situation.
Mhm.
But and then while we're at it, a very quick way to increase your sales velocity without too many hard marketing tactics. It's just an easy one. Is it the best? No, you were saying earlier in very compelling reasons why like Google marketing is kind of uh, an unlock for a lot of people that they need to be considering.
Mhm. Yeah. And when it comes to like lightning deals and like all these like deal of the days and everything else, do
Yeah.
you have any experience like with like using do you use those like once a month? Do you have any like strategy to do that or do you just mainly go the
Well,
coupon route with
I've
that?
got a lot of failures in lightning deals that we could jump in. Um, lightning deals are tough, and it's kind of like a hyper focused, coupon because they like you have to go like 30% lower. Um, when I speak with like people that have had succeeded with it, I mean, I've probably launched about 15 lightning deals, and I've looked at every single one of them, and it just hasn't been worth it for our brand.
Mhm.
Uh, and then like when I talk to Amazon employees, and they're like they find anything that can be an impulse buy or a gift, those do really well in lightning deals.
Mhm. Yeah.
Where you got like the bargain shoppers that really want to do that. If you're selling an auto repair kit for a specific car, which we actually, that's one of my private label brands, not a great thing to, because like they're either looking for it or they're not. And so don't lightning deal something like that. That's,
Mhm.
um, my experience with that.
Yeah. And I think also like when people are searching your product, and let's say you're on the top row, people like if it says like lightning deal on it and everything else, that
Yep.
special badge that you get from the lightning deal,
Yep.
I think that will also draw a lot more attention to your specific
So
product, making
yeah,
it where you get a lot more sales there, especially that particular day of the lightning deal. So yes, and you're very right. It is product specific. Like if it like it depends on what type of product you have. Do you have a search intent based product or do you have a convenience based
and
product?
I also think you just have to have the margin there to do it. I would not recommend doing lightning deal if you only have 15-20% margin. Like
Yeah.
it's just going to eat at you a lot. But if you have a 35-40% margin, yeah, you can like take some like, zero margin for a little while, put it into your marketing strategy.
Yeah. And that way you can kind of like start spiking that sales velocity as much as possible. So that way you can kind of get that in, because for some clients, we do like monthly lightning deals. So that way we can like really spike up sales and get everything going on that side of things as well. So it can be important when it
For
comes to
sure.
driving
For
sales
sure.
velocity.
Yeah.
And I want to get your thoughts on video ads. So sponsored brand videos have been like killing it,
Yeah,
killing it, killing it.
it's not as new anymore. I think,
True.
like 6 months, 12 months ago when I first saw them, I was like, wow, this is um a something new, because Amazon kind of like finally figured it out. They gave it a really good placement.
They did.
It's good all around. It looks good on mobile, looks good there, and for a while it was really cheap, uh,
True.
because not a lot of people were leveraging it.
Yeah.
Now having, launched, 10 or 20 of these videos, you do need to like, have a strategy behind it,
Yeah.
but it's such good placement that you can't ignore it.
Mhm.
Like, it's kind of like, you got your top row of products, and then usually the video is just like right there on either row 2 or row 3, the entire row. And so if you can make it's kind of like one of those places where, um, again, you need to invest in your content to be a match, and then you'll get, like, the better click through and the better conversion.
Mhm.
So, worth thinking twice about what video you use.
Yeah.
Uh, you can go as professional as, just hiring someone out to do this for, $10,000, or if you want to be on a budget, you can do it with your own phone. And I usually like the in between stuff where, like, for example, I created a really, really sharp video,
Mhm.
uh, where we hired a copywriter to just like really like, dive into the product, and like write out a script. And that made it a lot easier for us to perform. I'm not a copywriter, and
Mhm.
like, boy, do I respect good ones. They're some of the best people to have in your like tool belt as a marketer. Amazon, in a lot of different cases, you want someone that really can like take the benefits of your product and either spell it out in a video or in, images. Like, um, uh, love a good copywriter.
Yeah.
It'll pay for itself over the life cycle of a product as you increase the conversion percentage. So back to video, I would recommend, like a medium sized investment if you are, kind of bootstrapped, which most Amazon sellers are.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we even take it a step further that we might take a 60-second video and cut it up into 15-second segments on Amazon. And we actually change the beginning because, as you know, about 75% of people will only watch the first 3 seconds of that sponsored brand video. So what we do is we change the first 3 seconds that or will be the most engaging to catch someone's attention, and we test out which first 3 seconds work the best. And we might have one video and cut four different, and we A/B test which one
Yep.
works the best,
No, you're
and then
totally
that
right.
way it performs really well.
You're totally right. Video, first 3 seconds, get their attention.
Yeah.
And anytime that, like, yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah, and then but on the video ad side, too bad it's becoming too expensive now. Like, it was, like, super cheap and you was super profitable for the longest time, but now you have to have some really good video ads, and you have to have some really strong video strategy within all of it. Like, within all the A/B testing we're doing, if once we get a really strong, engaging ad, then it performs really well, and then we're able to be profitable on it, but it's still getting more and more expensive just as Amazon advertising just picks up in general. It's just getting more expensive to do anything at this point,
Yep.
really.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I also wanted to get your how are you right now analyzing? I assume you're a seller central, right? Not vendor central?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How are you grabbing your data right now? Are you using a dashboard? Are you using Amazon's horrible user interface? Like what are you using right now to kind of grab that data? and see it.
So, sure. How long do we have? Um, when it comes to data on Amazon, like I'm a nerd. I study computer engineering, and that is kind of like honestly what I spend most of my time doing. Um, so, um, so Seller Central, I've been working with the Amazon's API for a long time. A
Mhm,
lot of it was just building inventory systems for ourselves, just in a way that worked with our business model.
mhm,
And then, because there's 20, 30 reports that Amazon can give you. And we try to like tie in, like what's our return percentage on some products? What's our all in, profitability, sales velocity, is it ticking up, is it like you kind of like build a lot of different systems to have good management. Yeah, Seller Central does a little bit of these things, but if you want to configure it to what you want, you kind of have to jump in.
mhm.
There are a lot of tools out there now that I would probably recommend before building yourself. uh, uh, but where I am actually really nerding out in the data now
Mhm.
is so on top of my two selling businesses, I actually launched a software service called Smart Scout. I actually don't even know if you ever seen Smart Scout.
I don't think I have ever seen Smart Scout.
Yes, yes. I'm glad you haven't, because I guarantee anyone, like, we can give you a wow moment. You're like, oh, I didn't know this existed. Like, this is kind of interesting.
Mhm,
Um, and I'll focus like on the data that like I think a lot of people care about. But so with Smart Scout, one people like the easiest wow moment that we can give is if you jump on and you see our seller map, where we have a map of the United States, and we show every single seller as a dot on that map, like down to their address, and then we give them and we have their estimate revenue.
hmm,
So we are using things to show estimate revenue on sellers and on brands, and kind of show market share. So we're showcasing market share across all brands and products, and that's just the beginning.
hmm.
There's actually a lot of other ways that we're tying in things to like kind of let every person jump into Smart Scout and see um, uh, their brand showcased in a unique way. Uh, we actually show we download. We're scraping pretty much all of Amazon's catalog,
Mhm,
and say you take a product and we show you that where that product is being featured on other people's pages. So we do a reverse engineer
hmm.
of the frequently bought together widget. So that little frequently bought together, we help you find where you or say a competitor's product are being featured. So kind of give you an idea for advertising. Then actually, while we're talking about advertising, we're showing win rates on search terms. So um, it's better for your competitor to look like, see where your competitors are winning on their search terms. Yes, you can go onto Amazon advertising and see where you're winning, but if you want to see your competitors playbook, we have that. That's called Ad Spy. So um, I'm really spending most of my time building data sets around Amazon. It's a tool that I would say about 80% of the aggregators are using now. So to understand sellers and brands. And so, this conversation, like I said, like I could tell you where you could source all these data points.
Mhm.
I could say like, hey, actually, that one you can't get that. You have to scrape it. Um, which there are those that like Amazon kind of like pseudo protects from their API. But I do think Amazon is giving more and more data uh, with
Mhm.
with their API. So certainly, especially on the advertising side, that API is the most uh, dynamic right now. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I totally agree. And, like, does the tool provide, like, just, like, a dashboard where you can kinda, like, go in and see, like, what your monthly sales are and, things
So
like Like,
We do not. So yeah, we're not like a one of those tools that like gives you like a dashboard of your account. We actually don't connect to seller accounts.
hmm,
This is all uh, scraped and estimated data.
hmm,
So we are kind of more like a product research, or but like we're not product. We're more like brand research. We kind of take a step back and do a top-down approach. Everyone knows Helium 10 and Jungle Scout. Those are fantastic tools. Like they really do a lot of like great product research. But like if you're going to research brands, like take and look at market share
hmm,
and like sellers and like how they're doing. Uh, they don't compete with us. They just don't match what we've put together. So
hmm.
and yeah, that's
That makes sense. Yeah, like I think it's also important for sellers to like have a dashboard of some type, like to where they can just analyze all their data points. So like for example, like with the coupon, like most sellers will put on a coupon and just like assume sales go up, but they won't actually like
yeah.
analyze what anything that's going on with it. It's
And
important that these like Amazon sellers, they're so used to the horrible Amazon user interface, and Amazon puts the reports in 17 different places,
yeah,
and they need like a dashboard to where they can analyze everything
there's
and see like, okay, what products are doing well now, like better than they are before, and that data is super insightful. So that way they can see like, oh, sales are 90% down for this product. Let's see. Oh, we're out of stock. Like whatever it may be, like it's important that they're analyzing those things in an easy to read manner, because right now in Amazon everything's so scattered around, everything's so hard to read that Amazon sellers really can't go and find that
yeah.
information easily, but they need a dashboard they can easily just digest and see like, oh, something needs to happen, and that makes things a lot easier for them.
So everything that we've talked about from coupons, video to data, actually, I want to anchor it to one thing that matters,
Hmm.
and that's conversion percentage.
Yeah.
Like, convert, that is the most important thing. And oddly enough, Amazon doesn't make this number easy to like
True.
find, to use, to bring into your systems.
Hmm.
It's not on the API. Um, there's three different places that it's tracked, and I kind of hate how each of them has like a problem why it's not great.
Hmm.
Obviously, you could track your conversion percentage on your ads that you're spending money on.
Yeah.
Very quick clicks to sales conversion percentage. Um, and so if you are doing a coupon, if you did improve your page, you should do some A/B testing on that.
Hmm.
Figure out, is this a lift in conversion percentage or what? The second spot is on the business reports. Detail by child ASIN. That is not on the API by design. I've talked with an Amazon developer, and they're like, "Yeah, we didn't want to put this in the API." And I'm like, I think that was the dumbest mistake they've ever made.
Hmm.
Um, it drives developers insane, and but that is the most true conversion percentage of your product, and you can see how many visits you get to how many conversions, and then they give you a percentage. So right there, you should be like referencing anytime you make a change to your product, you should like look to see how that does. Hopefully you don't have hundreds of asins, or
Hmm.
it's really hard to track. If you got a few asins, you definitely should be honing in on your conversion percentage. And then the final place you can track conversion percentage is in the brand analytics. That
Hmm.
does a keyword based conversion percentage. It's a little clunky. It doesn't show you exactly what you want to see.
Hmm.
Um, but everything that you should be doing, if you're like, putting your marketing hat on, should lead to, increasing your marketing, sorry, your conversion percentage.
Yeah.
There's my spiel of like tying in everything that we've talked together of like what matters, what data
Hmm.
matters. That's the one.
Yeah, anything to really help increase conversion rate. Like, and I also want to stress the importance of infographics, because on mobile, like like you can like update your bullet points, you can update like all these like descriptions, your A plus content. But like if you literally open up it, like you tap on a product page on mobile, the image is literally like this big, and like everything else is like really really small. And like just analyze how you use Amazon on mobile. You swipe through the images. That's how people analyze and gather the information. So if you don't have infographics text on your on your other images, saying like explaining what your product benefits are, what are all these things that are happening, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity to tell that information and let that person know why your product is different. And that's a huge opportunity that you're missing. So having infographics and having text on those other images explaining why you're unique is vital to like to increase that conversion rate. It's important.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And is there anything else in particular that on when it comes to conversion rate and increasing conversion rate that you've seen that has made a big difference? Whether it like I know you said the coupons like that makes a big difference. Is there anything else that you've seen that has increased conversion rate there?
Like, yeah, price is going to affect your conversion.
Yeah.
Things that like are kind of above the fold, like you said on mobile, you hit the nail on the head. Like your images, um, I don't think you could spend too much time perfecting your imagery. That is your brand. Um, I just spent, I told you I had a few calls earlier today, and one of them I saw this brand, uh, Zulai Kitchen, and I'm like, you guys figured out your images. They are a
Mhm.
phenomenal seller, a phenomenal brand to learn from, and I probably wouldn't compete with them. Like they're going to be they're going to be after you because of how good their images are and how that leads to a conversion. Yeah, you can do so many other things, like you said, bullet points
Mhm.
and A plus content, but above the fold, that's that's the space you want to play in
Mhm.
to uh, give the key call outs to like things that this will work with. You're like, even in your title, if like for example, I probably buy 2 accessories with my iPhone every year, whether it's a case, something. And
Mhm.
when I go there, I want to see, iPhone compatible. Like
Mhm.
that's like I have to see that. So you should consider the most obvious use cases. Put that in your title, and it can lift your conversion percentage. So those few little spots right there are the most important.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like this because you kind of like really see it from the seller's perspective, which is a really interesting thing. When it comes down to it, what has been the biggest hurdle for you right now? Is it the strong inventory limits? Is it the rising cost of advertising? Is it Amazon taking forever to ship things? Like what has been the biggest hurdle for you right now when Amazon, or is it just a combination of everything right there?
Well,
Like
it's hard to, the slowing of the supply chain. It's hard to get over that.
yeah,
There's, it forces to like invest so heavily in inventory to have a longer, uh,
sure.
process. Um, let's see.
Like, I would say, like, having a 3PL is, like, really, really important within all this as well. Like,
Yeah,
having that other warehouse that do FBM, fulfilled by merchant, because, like, having that backup strategy is, like, super important because if Amazon ever suspends your inventory or brings down your listing or whatever it may be, you're at the mercy of Amazon. But if you have that backup strategy, you can at least keep selling or you can get that inventory from somewhere else. So having like all your inventory in FBA is a little bit risky, but having that backup strategy is important too. It
yeah.
helps. So yeah.
I'd say one of my biggest challenges is, learning new tactics, like even things that we talked about right now, and then implementing that change to our process. So, like
Mhm.
right now, I actually am looking into a new SEO strategy
Mhm.
for our products. I can give a shout out to Brandon Young and his data dive. I want to like jump in and like learn it
Mhm.
and train someone on my team to start applying that. And that's, it's tough to like, take experiments and turn them into processes.
You're 100% right. And I am religious about testing. Like I am literally religious about it. Like within all my employees, I'm saying like, hey, we have to keep testing. If we're not testing, we're not learning. And that's like it's super vital. But when we it's important to take those learnings that we get from those testings and communicate that saying, hey, this worked well. Let's try to do this again. And I've been able to communicate like you have to also learn what type of communicate. You know how you're saying like thank God you had a copywriter? Like
Yeah,
I am so bad at copy, it hurts. Like I seriously have the grammar of a third grader. I'm not even joking. Like that's just
yeah,
how I can't communicate that way. I'm a horrible communicator through text. But when it comes to video
yeah.
and voice to voice communication, I excel. I can do that. So literally the way I communicate through like emails and things like that, I send video updates. I literally
Yep,
will record my screen, communicate via voice and
yep,
like via video, and I'm good at that. Like that's literally all I can do. So that is how I send emails. That's how I send Slack messages. And then that's how I communicate and I teach them like, hey, I learned this new thing by testing this. It works well. And then I communicate that to my employees and it works well. So
yep.
you have to learn what your communication style is first and then teach them whatever that new thing that you learn. And I'm not even joking. I create 400 of these videos a day of just like these 1 minute videos
What
of
apps do you use?
yeah, I know. I go crazy with it because I have to
What
communicate so many
what what what,
ways.
what apps do you use?
I have used ClickUp. Like that is what I've been using. Like that is like the coolest. So there's Loom. You can use Loom. You can use like
I
all these
use
screen
I
recording
use
things.
Loom a lot.
And but Loom has that like delay of like that slight delay of recording your screen. But with ClickUp, you can do it instantly. So that's the only reason why is and we use ClickUp for our project management. With ClickUp, you can literally record your screen, and within literally 3 seconds after you're done recording it, it's already you can copy the link and paste it. So that's why it's like so effective because if I do 400 of these videos, I can't have any delays in like sending the videos because I have to move on to the next video from how many
That's a
I
lot.
do
That's a lot of talking
because
every day.
it is. I literally never stop talking. I
Well,
swear. But like
um,
it's important. I'm nonstop communicating. Like that's how I have to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Victor, like I'll have to get you on my podcast to talk about some of the off Amazon advertising. I've talked to someone that's done a little bit of Google,
Mhm.
but that's as far as I've seen affected. Like I don't see, no one said like I haven't seen anyone on like figure out the Amazon other advertising angles. And I'm sure since you're like an agency doing this for people, like a lot of great questions. So
Yeah, like it's a really neat thing because a lot of people don't do it because a lot of Amazon sellers aren't prioritizing the external traffic as much as like for example, if you had a Shopify store, then you have to like the external traffic is everything. But Amazon sellers are so used to like all the traffic on Amazon, they go like, oh wait, I don't need that. But as Amazon ads get more and more expensive, as Amazon starts to prioritize external traffic, it's becoming more and more of a conversation with everything that's going on. And having that external traffic is a huge benefit because you get those rankings, you get those sales from it, and it's
yeah,
just
love it.
and just brand, like
Yeah,
just brand awareness. Like you have to be increasing your brand on everything that's going on that may not correlate with sales. You just have to like start engaging with your customers. It's super important. It may not lead to direct sales after that post, but engaging with your customers, interacting with them will help your brand long term, and that's super important as well. So
cool.
it's important. Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to make sure that you say, or anything else that you wanted to communicate? Any struggle points? Is there anything else that you wanted to mention?
Sure. Well, if we're going to talk about struggle points, I've certainly made my share of mistakes. Um, but I mean, the thing is like, I I think any true entrepreneur, like you're gonna, like on Amazon, you're gonna make mistakes. And I've done some things that like I've lost like plenty of money, but like the opportunity still is there. I still get excited about it,
Mhm.
to see where the sales go. And because those days where they go up, it's just like it makes it all worthwhile. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
Cool.
think that's it. I mean, like I personally think the metric to care about, to worry about, is just conversion percentage.
Yeah.
And understand how like that affects on Amazon. If you're on Shopify, same thing. You got to increase your conversion percentage. So small tweaks you make here and there is a big deal.
Yeah. I totally agree. Can you tell the audience where to find you and everything else like that? Like what your business is, or like where to find you? Yeah, like LinkedIn,
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't hide under a rock. For 2 years, I've done a podcast where I really focus on the technical things of Amazon. That's the Smartest Amazon Seller podcast. I found the most humble name I could find, and that was it.
Mhm.
Um, I actually post a lot on Instagram at
Yep.
Smartest Seller. That's where great to give like really quick updates. And you'll see, for example, if when I get Victor on my podcast,
Mhm.
I do get a few thousand downloads. When I get him on my podcast, like I'll take a little teaser and throw it on Instagram. That's where a lot of people really engage. So
That's great.
and I've been building. Yes, I've been selling, but I've been building Smart Scout. That's the tool that really takes my best data advice knowledge on Amazon and just cram it all together in one tool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, that's really cool that you approached it from a perspective of a seller, and you're saying like, "Hey, I need this data," and you built that tool to kind of build out your own need for that with your own tool. That's really cool. That's awesome. So yeah,
Thanks.
thanks guys. Thanks for everyone for watching. Thank you, Scott, so much for hopping on, and thank you guys. We will talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Bye.